What's up, everybody? PJ Braun here, president of Blackstone Labs, and I'm here with Stephanie Mahoe, who's been here all day. We've got a lot of content, and she is all warmed up and ready to go for this glute-based workout that she's going to do because she shot another video back there doing her booty bands.
Yep, pretty much really warmed up. Did a own little workout there with some activation exercises, plyos, and basically how to use this band in a non-weighted setting. And now I'm going to actually go into my glute workout and show you how to use it in the gym setting, which is what I use in my own training weekly, about 2 to 3 times a week.
So look for that video specifically. It's already out. By the time this video gets out and you guys are watching that video will already be out on the Blackstone Labs page, so go look for it. I'm sure you'll have seen me post it as well. I had so many girls asking me about these now that I was like, please come down here and let's shoot a video so we can show it to them. So I think you guys will be very pleased with that. Now, as far as the training goes, since she's warmed up and ready to go, I'm gonna step out, I'm gonna watch her, but I wanna see what she's doing since I haven't been around for a while, because I believe that she's probably overtraining, but I'm not gonna say anything. I wanna see what she's doing first, because we are trying to streamline all this muscle that she has. Now, some of you are gonna watch this and say, why would you wanna change that? She looks amazing. She does, but to be competitive in the IFBB at the highest level, she's gotta be a much smaller and tighter version of this amazing package that she has now. So she knows what she's doing. I'm gonna step out and see just how well she knows and let her prove to me that I can just let her go do these crazy workouts and not have to get involved.
The crazy workouts don't happen as much because of this.
That's
They
good.
don't have to happen. I was overtraining. I was doing too much. So this kind of lets me focus on
I will
the
see
glutes.
when I watch it, because I asked her what she was gonna do and I already lost count of that exercises when she was telling me. So hopefully she did so much from there that she can get right into it and be ready to go here, because she broke the record for the longest video we ever shot. Trevor had to change the battery like 3 times on that one.
Before the booty band.
He actually told people a
I
lot,
know.
like for the next like at least year.
2 years.
It would just come up, he'd be like, man, the workout that Stephanie did, I've never seen anything like it. And it would just come up in conversation. So this one is gonna be a edited down version of what she does for legs. Let's see, I'm getting out of it, so it's all you now, so just go work on it.
All right. My first exercise today is going to be banded deadlifts, and I'm using dumbbells. You can use barbells, really any thing. I change it up depending on how I feel. But you will notice that my feet are not straight forward. They're actually turned out a little bit, and I'm actually going to be pushing on the outside of my feet. So normally I start my workout off with some lateral band walks or clamshells, something to get my adductors firing. And then I'll move into some sort of deadlift motion or hip thrust motion where I'm really squeezing and contracting. I'm using a lot less weight than I've used to use in the past, and I'm really focusing on pushing on the outside of my feet in this deadlift that I'm going to be doing, and that's to make sure that I'm activating the right parts of my hamstrings and glutes. So you're going to notice that when I'm performing these exercises, the band is actually not moving, it's not bunching, it's not rolling down my legs, it's staying in place because I designed it to have a grippy on the inside of it. It's a fabric band, and the grippy helps hold it in place. I'll usually do about 3 to 4 sets for each exercise that I do. I usually have a target rep range, but it does vary. I really am going off of mind and muscle. So if I'm aiming for 15, but I feel like I really got it at 12, I stop, and that's just that comes with experience and time. So the best thing I can say with that is to just really focus on your muscles when you're training and get really connected to every movement that you're doing. So now I'm gonna move into a non-banded exercise. I do mix up my exercises, so not everything involves the band. I just pick and choose certain ones that will help get the most by using the band. And what I'm doing now is a Sumo Squat, and this is gonna be really to help with the upper part of the glute or the shelf. I've been focusing a lot on that, and that's a lot of the feedback I've heard my band has been helping with a lot of ladies. So as PJ mentioned, I used to train like a maniac, and I used to do a lot of exercises. I used to train very heavy, and I thought that was what was gonna grow my glutes the best. And it did. I responded pretty well to it, but I also ended up growing other parts of my leg, like my quads and things that we're just not trying to do because we're trying to streamline. So a lot of the things you see me do have a lighter weight load, and I'm actually trying to fatigue the muscle by time under tension, meaning doing not like reps under 10, aiming more for 12 to the 15 to 20 range, and really focusing on my mind and muscle connection, because something I learned long ago is you can make a really light weight feel just as heavy as a super heavy weight if you're focusing and really doing it properly. So that was Sumo Squat, and again, I'm really focusing on form and contracting each muscle. I'm not focusing too much on weight, and I'm trying to fatigue my muscles without using other parts of my leg, and that has, what I've found works best for me is actually reducing the weight. And then I'm gonna move right into a superset with this exercise, and I'm gonna be doing a standing banded lateral abduction. So with that, I went pretty high rep. I actually didn't count, but I'm guessing I did about 20 to 25. That's usually what I'm aiming for. And it's really just to get a lot of blood rushing into that muscle and deliver nutrients. And cool little tip that I do is I take my glycolog pre-workout to really push all the carbs into my muscles, especially on glute day. I can really feel it right now. I really feel it. In my quest to build my glutes, I have found that I am going to end up doing a lot more isolated movements. The cable kickback is a classic. I do incorporate them. I do a lot of banded kickbacks. But I also, in my gym workouts, I do mix in the weights. So this is a good example of something that you'd see in my training program that I had mentioned for the gym. I don't put it at the height that most people do, which is at the very bottom. I kind of keep it a little higher. And then I'm really angling my foot. So I'm not just going straight back like that. I'm actually turning my knee and my foot out so that I'm in more of an external rotation. The cable kickback the way you saw it to really work on my upper glute. I was really working on trying to build that shelf, and that's why you see a lot of my exercises targeting lateral or things like this where I'm really squeezing on that upper part of my glute to create that more like shelf booty. Now we're gonna do the famous hip thrust. It is by far the most effective exercise, or it can be argued that way. It activates more of your glute muscle than any squat out there, and adding the band is just gonna help increase that activation. Then I'm gonna go right into a burnout exercise here. So I'm basically going right into banded hip thrusts. So I added in the abductions at the end because I just felt like really killing my glutes there. Everything's burning. That's part of how I train, just very intuitively, kind of sometimes on the fly. And that just really helped burn out everything in my outer part of my glute. Okay, so now we're gonna move into a couple finishing exercises. I like to pick 2 or 3 at the very end and just really burn out my glutes. I use the band a lot for these, and I just am really focusing on a really, really good pump, higher reps, and a lot of times I just go until I can't go anymore.
So you are done with what you think is an easy workout.
I don't know that it was easy, but it was different than what I used to train.
Different, that's the key.
It was different, and it was not the heavy weighted exercises that you used to see me do. It was a fraction of weighted exercises with more banded, some body weight, and a lot more like isolation. Really focusing on the mind-muscle connection and fatiguing the muscle without the weight. Which I think is kind of the takeaway for most people, because I know when I first switched that to like adjust to the look that we're trying to get, I kind of hated it at first. I hated not lifting heavy.
Of course.
I wanted to go in there and just, pick shit up and put it down. Mm-hmm. And I had to change that, and I've actually loved it. I love it now because I love the results. So you kind of grow, once you're willing to change your approach and are open-minded, you can actually become surprised and find out that just a little piece of fabric can be very...
And you feel that your physique now has improved a lot more training like this.
I do, yeah.
I do. I'm looking at you, so I know that.
I mean, I can feel it. I mean, just like my upper glute is there. It wasn't there before because it wasn't even activating. I had like a PT even tell me like I had like a gap there, like a cave.
I went through something very similar. So
yeah, and so using this to really get everything activated again, now I can basically do any exercise and I'm getting more out of it.
And you can all, by the way, because I know there's gonna be some guys that are watching this just because they want to see Steph because she's pretty. You guys can use the band the same way and benefit from it a lot, especially if you're a bodybuilder that is having issues with his glutes, because we all know now that bodybuilding shows are won from your butt. The back double bi and the rear double bi, if you don't have very developed and shredded glutes, you will not win. It's just like the way we emphasize it in Bikini. You guys can teach your glutes to fire the right way with bands like this. So, don't think of it as a girl type of thing. Now, I would like to also add in that the way that she trains now is also how I train now. And as a man, same situation, because I'm a meathead too. I was like, oh man, I wish that I was like throwing around heavy stuff like I used to. Yeah. But my physique consistently got better when I started training like this. I moved fast. How long did you train for today?
I don't know, 45 minutes.
45 minutes, and she did a lot of stuff.
Yeah, the warm-up might have been 15 minutes. It was a little longer than normal warm-up, but yeah, about an hour, whereas before I think we were on the verge of like 2 hours.
2 hours, it's a long time. So she has a whole extra hour to do other productive things, either for her body or for the day. And that is something that is very important to me as I get older. And I also feel that if you're looking for longevity, training the way that she's training now is going to, not only is it going to preserve your joints, but you're actually going to strengthen the connective tissue and all these little muscles that you're not really working all the time. Yeah. So if you've never trained like this before, where I think it's a safe bet that you probably have not, I encourage you to try it because it's going to throw you off a lot in the beginning. I also would like to add that if Eric could please put a poll on this video for how many people thought that this was still a really hard workout versus the people that are gonna say, no, it was an easy one. I bet you people are gonna be like, that was a really, really intense workout. Just from the sheer volume that you're doing, you can get away with doing a lot more exercises. This is something I always try to preach to people, because they'll be like, what'd you do for shoulders? And I'll tell them, and they're like, that's like 12 exercises. And I'm like, yeah, but I'm going light and quick.
Yes.
so you're not overloading the muscle the same way. If you're doing as heavy as you can for 6 reps, then yes, keep it around 8 to 10 sets, because that's all that muscle can really handle. If you're focusing on toning and refining and develop everything a certain way, you can absolutely keep hitting it from numerous angles in one workout. It's not going to be overkill. It's just stimulation from different angles.
Right. Different ways to
without annihilation.
stress the muscle.
Very good. Well, I think everyone's going to really enjoy this workout. We're very happy to have you down here. Thank you very much.
It's been a pleasure.
Do you feel very comfortable now in front of the camera?
Yes, I'm very excited.
I feel like you're doing really good.
Yeah, it just takes me a little to
pretty
warm
pleased.
up.
Do you want to just start taking my role as doing all the videos from now on?
I mean, we can give
I'll
it a
just
shot.
work my butt out all the
Yeah,
time.
yeah,
All right.
let's give it a
That's
shot.
what we're gonna be. If you guys get sick of her,
What
that'll
is it,
come back.
peace out, bye?
Yes. There you go. She just ended it. There you go.